Well, we're going to be talking about Starfield today. Got some interesting stuff to talk about, especially with the creation kit, and also a little bit on the DLC that's coming out. Kind of some speculation on that. But I saw some videos about the Creation Club and the new mission that they have out there for like 700 credits for $7, and how that got panned in the comments, and how people are saying it's actually really popular, based on some very sketchy data, in my opinion. But yeah, let's just talk about it a little bit. And for you guys that haven't been in the loop about this, the Creation Club, or the Creation Kit, I guess, for Starfield, same idea as with Fallout. You can basically log in and get these mods and missions and what have you, and there's a bunch of them out here. So they're sold for points. And yeah, I mean it's a great idea in concept, but yeah, there's some problems with it. And the big one is going to be with this mission right here, Trackers Alliance, the Vulture. So this is like a little tack-on mission that Bethesda put out themselves, and they're charging 700 credits, which equates to about $7. So $7 for a DLC wouldn't be bad, but this is effectively like a mission, like a mini DLC, not even really. So there's a big controversy around that, and Starfield's been getting panned in the reviews on that, and you can see that in Steam here. So as soon as this all came to light, they just destroyed Steam in the reviews, and you can even see like I my usual thing where I do over 10 hours and verified Steam purchases. Even that is in a mixed state, so 62% of the 64,063 user reviews for this game are positive. And that's overall. So it's actually dragged down the big number, not the most recent number. So that's just how unfavorable people find this. And Todd Howard has actually come out and said, like, this is not ideal. You can see that in this Dextero article. He said he called the Trackers Alliance an attempt to something we did in Creation Club, where we'd say, hey, you get this special outfit and you get this special weapon. We wanted to put them together and thought, let's go the extra mile and wrap those around a quest. Howard acknowledged the pricing misstep in light of player feedback, saying, and that's not what we want in all terms of, oh no, this looks like a faction that we're chopping up and then selling for 700 credits at a time. And says Bethesda will take a look at how creation mods are priced and broken up. However, Todd Howard also clarified that Creation's platform isn't going anywhere despite the controversy surrounding its use in Starfield, Fallout 4, and Skyrim. Our view is a lot of Creation Kit modders have gone from hobbyists to professionals, and it's part of our job to make sure that they can do what they do to get paid, and they see the monetary rewards if they make awesome content. And on the surface, I guess that is noble of them, but noble at a potential to take a cut from all that income for basically doing nothing. So, if you can't beat the Steam store, make your own Steam store around your own games, and that's basically what they're doing here. So this is basically the same idea as the Steam Marketplace, but for Fallout, Skyrim, and now Starfield. And I guess it's working. I just have to question how well it's working. And to get to that, we're going to go back and cover something that a lot of videos that I've seen about this have been covering, which is the views and plays over here. So you can see it's 242,459 views, 766,630 plays. Available for PC and Xbox, and you can see the Xbox is 1.2 million plays, so even more than PC. But I'm focusing on PC because primarily PC is going to be coming from, I would say, predominantly Steam and somewhat of the Microsoft Store secondarily, I would guess. But that's all also through the actual Starfield creation mechanic here, this web page that we're looking at right here. So if you can equate to that and say that most of the people playing Starfield on PC are playing on Steam, or at least over half, and then you kind of start looking at some of these numbers. So we're just going to look at the numbers here. So before the mod was out, before that DLC thing was out, you can see like the peak was 8,000. It got up to like 10,000. Even 11, almost 12,000. But let's just take this peak of 9,000, give or take. And then afterwards, you can see that the peak here was 14,000, give or take. So about 5,000 differential. So you're talking about 5,000 players more than you were before this creation club was out, this creation kit was out. So how they're taking like 5,000 or even the 14,000 here and equating that even over time to this massive like 766,000 plays, I don't think so. I don't think that that's I don't think you can equate this number to sales of this module. I think this is the number of times that they've played it overall. So, like, you've played the game, you've exited, and you've come back later and played it again. So you could basically add up all those plays, and maybe that qualifies as 766,000. And I mean, it is Starfield, so how many of those are crashes that had to restart too? That also factors in, given it's a Bethesda title. But yeah, these numbers just don't add up at all. I mean, these playthrough numbers, these user numbers on SteamDB, don't equate to 76,000 or 766,000 purchases of this. So it's definitely not that. It's probably closer, I would say, to that 5, maybe 10,000 range. And furthermore, when you're doing this math and you're saying, oh well, that's 10,000 times $7, so 70 grand for doing this little thing, I would say no, because factor in Starfield Premium Edition owners get 1,000 credits. So anyone that bought Starfield Premium got 1,000 credits. And that actually includes me, because I got mine bundled with a processor, and I'm sure an awful lot of people got their Starfield bundled with a proc too, or any AMD product. I think GPUs were qualifiers too in that sale. So how many of those sales are just, oh, I got 1,000, I might as well spend 700 on this mod that they created themselves and see what it's all about. So yeah, it's not doing as well as you might think. That said, it is still early days, and there are a lot of other modules out here. There's a lot of other things. So I mean, recently added, let's say highest rated, so unofficial Russian translation. Let's just see what that looks like. Let's see here. So yeah, 17,000 plays and then 42,000 plays on Xbox. Yeah, I think you could probably divide that by a factor of 10. So maybe 1,700 people got this. And that's, for a Bethesda title, 1,700 people is not great, even for a mod. And obviously, if you're going to SteamDB, 14,000 consecutive players, 12,000, at peak, that's also not very good. And you can actually see that bear out, because right at launch, 330,000, and it just dropped off a cliff. And this little bump here, this is the difference between with and without the Creation Club. So it's 5,000 if you're lucky. And it's also dropping back down again. So yeah, it kind of went over like a lead balloon on this one. And I think that's part of the reason why they did the tracking like this, like plays and views. Certainly not going to tell us sales, because they don't want to give you those numbers. They want to give you the bigger number, which is playthroughs or plays. So it's not even playthroughs. It's just, booting the thing up basically. So I don't know. It's not looking good. I think they're spinning this as best as they can to try and say, hey, look how great Starfield is doing. And it's not. I don't think that this is going to be one of those games that does very well for Bethesda. I think they've hit a wall with this one. Now that's not to say that they couldn't come back and the new Elder Scrolls couldn't be a massive hit. I just don't think, I don't know. There's something about Starfield and the way that it plays and how it works. It's just uninspired. It's uninteresting to me, and it's just boring. It's like I was playing this just to get footage, and then before this I was playing Cyberpunk because I felt like going back to Cyberpunk 2077, and it's night and day. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 is fun. That's like, techno semi-post-apocalyptic, GTA, and this is just not even close to GTA, but set in space and boring. It's just not there, man. And even like the vending machines, look at that, Cyberpunk has better vending machines even. So something as simple as that, something as simple as interacting with this stuff. it just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel like there's a good gameplay loop. It doesn't feel entertaining and engaging. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very NASA punk, and that's what they were going for, but there's no substance behind it. It's just boring, I guess. To me, it's just boring. Sorry. And if you like Starfield, more power to you. And you're not alone. I mean, there are plenty of people still playing Starfield. Just not as many as on launch. And it's not as well received as other Bethesda titles. And I think you're going to see Starfield end up taking a back seat to Fallout and definitely Elder Scrolls. And I would almost say Fallout is going to start taking a back seat too, because of the way that they're treating the franchise is not in line with the original intention. And I think people are getting kind of sick of the nifty 50s vibe. It's rolling kind of slow these days compared to some of the other even post-apocalyptic titles that are out there that are just, have something new and fresh. And Fallout is just kind of the same Fallout that it's been since Fallout 3. It's just embracing that nifty 50s thing and trying to tongue-in-cheek its way through being an interesting game, and it's fallen on deaf ears now, I think. And it's the same thing with Starfield. It's crammed full of stuff, but it's very surface level. It's a lot of stuff, but not a lot of context and not a lot of depth. And I think that's the problem. And even the mods are not going to solve those fundamental problems with this game that a lot of people have. But like I said, if you enjoy it, more power to you. There are great elements of this. I mean, even just the example of going through this little place that I found. I mean, this was just a random spot on the map that I found. And, I just landed and checked it out, and it had stuff to do. So, the procedural generation, being able to go around and check stuff out and look at different things. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that is very interesting. And if you're into that, that's really great. This is actually, let's get to this spot here. So, this is a different spot that I landed, and I just kind of came across this little mining colony thing and just kind of went and checked it out. So you end up, going up here, and there's like a hole in the ground. There's like this sinkhole, and you go down and you can check it out, and there's caves down there, and you can explore. So, I mean, procedurally generated random content just smack dab on some random planet somewhere, and this is what it looks like. And I mean, that's pretty cool. You can't deny the expansive nature of that. That is kind of cool. However, even here, it's the same stuff as everywhere else. It's kind of just the same boring approach, at least in my opinion. Now, if you like exploring new places and you get an interest in that, maybe I'm just at that open world fatigue that everybody's talking about these days. That could very well be. But yeah, that's kind of why I've lost it on Starfield. Anyway, not to get off on too much of a tangent there. Sorry about that. But yeah, we've got some interesting numbers, conflicting numbers, and people saying, "Oh, the Starfield Creations are doing great," and I don't see it. I don't see it with these numbers. I don't see it with these play numbers. I don't see it with exactly what's going on with these play numbers versus actual concurrent users. Doesn't add up. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you like these kind of videos, give it a like, and I will talk to you later.